Testing, testing, Shabbat Shalom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing, testing, Shabbat Shalom. Testing, testing, Shabbat Shalom. Aleph Bet Gimel. 1, 2, 3. Echad, Shtaim, Shalos. We're testing our sound. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. We're still testing our sound, but it is so lovely to see everyone as we're testing our sound. It's so great to be able to gather together in person. Thank you so much. We'll get started in just a few minutes.
And it's just gonna get like I think it needs to go right there.
In about 2 minutes, or should I just?
No, right now.
Right now. Right now.
That's perfect.
Yes.
And the only other one is I think if you move that one over, this guy, these two on the end will just come. If you move this
Okay.
umbrella over a little bit. No, Chris, right here. Yes. Can it go a little more? Now everyone's on the same. Well, the entire
Of course you are. Oh, they're here. That's our Justin.
Yeah. Remember, sing with me. Really loud. Really loud. That's great.
הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. 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 הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
It is so wonderful to gather together on this Shabbat, on this beautiful day, and especially on this day as we celebrate the transition of Bella from a child in our community to be seen as a responsible adult as we celebrate her bat mitzvah. What a wonderful day. If you are new here to Temple Isaiah, my name is Rabbi Jill Perlman.
I'm Cantor Korn.
And a few other reminders for both our community who are gathered here in person as well as to those who are watching from afar, zooming in. We want to remind you, if you have a cell phone with you, we want you to turn that off so that you can be fully present in this moment, both here and at home, yes. And also a reminder for those who are here directly in this space, we're going to ask that you stay masked throughout our service. And though normally we would ask you all to sing along with a lot of ruach, with a lot of spirit, today also out of safety and protection for all who are gathered here, we are going to listen as Bella sings for us in our cantor as well. And if you would like to participate, we invite you to follow along in your prayer book or listen with your heart. And so, one of the great privileges and responsibilities that we have as we become a bar mitzvah or a bat mitzvah is to be able to receive our talit, our prayer shawl, for the very first time. And on our prayer shawls, we have these tzitzits, we have these fringes. And if you count up the strings and the knots and the various ways that they are tied together, you find you get the number 613, which are also the number of mitzvot, or commandments, that we have in our tradition. So as Bella puts on her talit for the first time today, she's also taking on responsibility. She's taking on her mitzvot for the first time as well. And so to present her with this wonderful gift, the gift of responsibility, the gift of our tradition throughout the generations, I call up her parents, Judy and Eric.
Just use the talit, and then when you're done, grab the microphone. It'll snap right out.
Okay.
Pull it hard.
Bella, the rabbi told us that the measure of a parent's love is directly correlated to how long they make their child stand in front of an audience and online and awkwardly listen to their parents. So everyone take a big stretch and get comfortable. This is gonna take a while. Well, you made it. It's been a long road, and not even a pandemic could stop you from having your bar mitzvah. I remember speaking to you after Gabby's bar mitzvah, and you couldn't wait to have yours, probably because you wanted a big party. Well, here you are in front of your family and friends, both in person and virtually. From the day you were born, we knew how special you were. You have so many talents. You are creative, funny, athletic, determined, resourceful, and kind, just to name a few. We hope you recognize, celebrate, and cherish these blessings as gifts from God to be used wisely and responsibly. Bella, you're such an amazing and kind person. You wear your heart in your sleeve, and that is what I love most about you. There isn't a mean bone in your body. You are incredibly clever and resourceful, and you're always looking for an angle. Whether it's finding a way to get your homework done quicker or how to get a quarter from the boys at Fuddruckers, a story for another day, you always find a way to get things done. While at times this can be a bit trying, it's hard to get mad at you when you do everything with a smile. One story that highlights your resourcefulness is when we were in Lake Tahoe for the 4th of July. I think you were around 8, and all of us went to have a picnic at the beach. We brought food with us to eat, but you didn't like what we brought. Imagine that. We told you if you didn't like the food, you didn't have to eat it, but we weren't going to buy anything else. Rather than sit and cry over it, you proceeded to walk around and ask people if you could have their food. And in a matter of a few minutes, you came back with Doritos, blue of course, candy, and a few other things, while we ate our sandwiches and chips. I don't know how you did it, but you flashed that sweet smile of yours, batted those eyelashes, and people just gave you their food. It was truly unreal. Your determination and resourcefulness are truly admirable traits, so don't ever lose them. They will take you far in life. May you be blessed with wisdom, happiness, peace, and perhaps a little more motivation to be nicer to your sisters and do your homework as you forge your way as a Jewish adult in our imperfect but still beautiful world. You may always know how very proud we are of you and how much we love you. Congratulations.
My sweet, sweet Isabella. Your nickname Bella means beautiful, and you are a true beauty, both on the outside, but most importantly, the inside. Your sweet nature shines through every day, and everyone who knows you are a true friend. You have an uncanny ability to make people smile and feel good. Quite simply, you make people fall in love with you right off the bat. You have all of your relatives wrapped around your little finger, but only in the best way possible. You get people to do what you want, from your cousins playing volleyball nonstop, cooking elaborate meals with your uncle, nails with your aunt, cupcakes and special treat deliveries from more aunts and cousins, to getting more random teenage boys to buy you sodas at Springbrook. Nobody can resist your big brown eyes, smile, and innocent requests. You form close friendships which you cherish and hold dear. Your variety of friendships is special, from a preschool friendship, a friendship made while on vacation, school friends, and friends from all of your sports. Your friends know that they can always count on you for a fun adventure and lots of laughs. And the types of friends you have made make us proud of you because they are all great people who we love to see you spend time with. Your inquisitive nature will serve you well. While sometimes we might find this challenging, please no more Skincare by Hiram videos or $100 electronic water bottles. I actually know this is an important part of who you are. You like to figure things out, and you amaze me with what you do figure out. You know when you need to do more research to fully back up your arguments with facts to get what you want. When you find something you love or that is important to you, you go after it with all your might. If anybody can find a way to be 6'1", despite having short genes in their family, you will. Or you will convince every D1 college coach that a 5'1" volleyball player can definitely play D1 volleyball. Bella, we are so proud of who you are and what you have accomplished in your 13 years so far. We look forward to watching you grow and spread your wings for all of your many adventures to come. I bless you with a true passion and joyful purpose in life, one in which you utilize all of your special talents and skills and find a way to make every person count. Mazel tov.
Read it. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehitatef b'tzitzit.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehecheyanu v'kiyemanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
Thank you, God, for giving us life, for sustaining us, and for allowing us to reach this sacred moment. And now we turn back to our services as Bella will lead us in Chatzi Kaddish, Chatzi Kaddish.
Yikadavi Kadash Meraba, Bama Dibarachia Tevel Michmahute, Behayahon Uvyamehon, Uvhayedaho Beit Israel, Bagala Uvisman Kariv, Veimeru. Amen. Yeheshemei Rabba Mevora, Le'alamu Amaya, Yitzbara, Vitpa'ar, Vitraman, Vitnase, Vitadar, Vitale, Vitala, Shemei Dekudisha, Berihu, Le'ela Komi Birhata V'Shirata, Tishbehata V'Nehemata, Damiran Be'aman, Be'imeru. Amen.
We now rise in body and spirit for our call to worship for our Baruch Hu.
Baruchu et Adonai Hamevorach Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Hamevorach Le'olam va'ed Hamevorach Hamevorach Le'olam va'ed.
It is our tradition before saying the Shema that we take the four corners of our talitot, if we are wearing one, we bring the fringes, the tzitzit together, and we wrap them around our fingers and cover our eyes, bringing us close to the oneness of God, not only through our words, through our prayers, but also through our actions, as our tzitzit are reminders to us to act and to bring good into our world. We sing the Shema now.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Adonai Mahuto, Adonai Echad.
Please be seated, and we continue with the Ve'ahavta.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha be'chol levacha uve'chol nafshecha uve'chol me'odecha ushartahu hadvarim le asher Anohi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha Veshinatam levanecha, v'dibartam bam, beshivtecha bevetecha, uvletecha vardere, ushobecha, uvehumecha, ushartam leot, ayeradecha, v'hayuletotafo, beinenecha, Uftaftam, amezizo beitecha, uvisharecha, leman tiskeru, vasitem et kol mitzvotai, vitem kidoshim, lelohehem. Ani Adonai Elohehem, asher hotzeiti etem, Me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lahem lelohim, ani Adonai Elohehem.
Our Micha Mocha is our freedom song. It's the song we sang after the exodus from Egypt. And even though we may face hardships today, we still recognize that we need to take the time to lift up our gifts, lift up our blessings, lift up our joy and our gratitude. And that is what we are going to do now as we sing the song of our people, Micha Mocha.
Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha mocha nedar b'kodesh, Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha mocha nedar b'kodesh. Norah tehilot, osef aleh, Norah tehilot, osef aleh, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha mocha nedar b'kodesh, Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha mocha nedar b'kodesh. Tzur Yisrael, kum חומה בעזרת ישראל, ולפדחנו מכה יהודה וישראל. כהלנו, אדוני צבאות שמו, קדוש ישראל. ברוך אתה אדוני,
We turn now to our Amidah, which means our standing prayer. So we once again rise in body and spirit as we draw close to the source of life all around us. And we'll spend time as well with silent prayer to find the source of life within. We begin with the words Adonai Sifatai Tiftach.
Adonai Sifatai Tiftach Ufi Agita Hiladeha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagador, Hagibor, v'Hanaram, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, V'Honei Hakol, V'Soher Hazei Avo v'Ima'ot, Umi v'Yula Livlem Neimen, Lema Shemo Be'ahava, Meler Hoser U'Moshia U'Mogen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mehayeh Hakol atah, Rav Le'oshia, Morid Hatal. Mehakeh Ha'im Behesed, Mehayeh Hakol Berahamim Ramim. Somech Noflim Ve'Rofeh Holim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayeh Ne'umato, Lishene Afar, Mihamo Haba Givurot, Umidomela, Melech Menit, Umehayeh, Umatzmiya Yeshua, Magen Abraham V'Hayot Hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, V'Hayeh Hakol.
נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב היה נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך הארץ, כבודו. אדיר, אדירנו, אדוני, אדוננו, מאדיר שמך בכל הארץ. ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון, לדור ודור. הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם. va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh.
We now take these next few moments to continue this Amidah, this tefillah, each on our own, finding those prayers that are within. You can stay standing or be seated as your prayer is complete.
We come out of our individual peaceful prayers with this prayer for peace. Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu 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 ve'al kol Yisrael. We arrive now at really the pinnacle of our service this morning, our Torah service, the moment that we will take the Torah scroll out of the ark, and Bella will carry it in her arms for the first time in a service. She will read from the Torah, and when I say read, really she will chant. She has mastered the art not only of learning to read Hebrew, but learning a very ancient chant. The melody is probably the most indigenous to the Jewish people. She will also teach from Torah. She will become our newest teacher of Torah, and she will delight us with teaching us of her way of making a difference in the world. So as we prepare now for the Torah service, I'm going to invite up Ava Sandberg to open the Torah, and I'm going to invite up Edie, Eric, Judy, Gabby, and Bella to line up for the ritual of passing the Torah. Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, Udevar Adonai mirushalayim, Baruch shenatan Torah, Baruch shenatan Torah, Le'amo Yisrael bikdushato. Don't undress the Torah yet, Eric. You didn't pass it to your daughter yet. She needs to hold it. Beautiful. And Ava, I'm going to have you close the ark doors. And Bella, I'm going to have you turn this way because I'm going to talk to you for just a moment. You know that you now carry Torah in your arms. And as we took it out of the Torah, we passed it through the generations in your family, through your grandmother, through your parents, through your sister. And someday, Ava will also be in that line. She will become another receiver of Torah. And the reason we pass it through the generations is that it is not coincidence that Torah reached your arms today. It is very much an act of love for the generations and generations that came before you to ensure that the Jewish tradition stayed alive. It's sort of like a relay race, and the Torah is the baton. And through all those generations, that baton got passed until it reached you on this very day. So it is with great pride and great honor that you carry the Torah today. But you know, it also comes with a lot of responsibility. A lot of responsibility to know that even at your young age, that you can make a difference in the world. A lot of responsibility to ensure that Torah reaches the next generation. And so it is with great pride and great love that indeed we pass you the Torah today. And now we will undress the Torah scroll so that you can indeed read from its teachings and its history. Ashlosha devarim, Ashlosha devarim, Ashlosha devarim, haolam omed, Ashlosha devarim, Ashlosha devarim, Ashlosha devarim, haolam omed.
And so as we are getting our Torah scroll ready with yad in hand, before you read that Torah, Bella, we are going to ask you once more to share the words of Shema with the Torah before you.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonai, Kadosh Shema.
Beautiful. And so that scroll in front of you, as Cantor Corn shared, is sacred, and it is yours. It has been passed down to you with a special message for you. But let me give us the context. Let me give you the context of where we are. So all across the world in congregations, folks may be reading a portion known as Devarim, a portion that is the first book of the fifth and final book of Torah. However, as I believe everybody here knows, and certainly Bella knows, that we meant to gather together a few months ago at actually the very beginning of the fourth book of Torah, the book of Bamidbar. And so to honor all of the work that you did to get us to Bamidbar, all the work that you did to find the message that speaks to you, we are going to read from that portion today. And so Bamidbar brings us, we're in the wilderness, and we are commanded to count our people. And I know Bella is going to expound upon that and teach us a little bit more about what it means to count and be counted. But the very particular verses in Hebrew that you're going to be sharing are from chapter 3 that tell us a little bit about this group of Hebrews that are known as the Levites. And so that is where we are in our Torah portion known as Bamidbar.
For the first Aliyah, to do the blessing before the first Aliyah, I call now on Denny Hirsch, Bella's aunt. Ta'amod Dvor Aliyah la Torah.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam. Asher bar karbanu banu mikol hamim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai notein haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Ve'ele todo Aharon u'Moshe beyom diber בהר סיני. ואלה שמות בני אהרון, הבכור נדב ואביהו, אלעזר ואיתמר. אלה שמות בני אהרון, הכהנים המשוהים, אשר מילא ידם להן. וימות נדב ואביהו לפני אדוני, בהקריבם עשרה לפני אדוני במדבר סיני, ובנים לא היו להם. ויהן אלעזר ואיתמר על פני אהרון אביהן.
And these are the words in English that Bella just shared in the Hebrew. This is the line of Aaron and Moses at the time that the Eternal spoke with Moses on Mount Sinai. These were the names of Aaron's sons, Nadav the firstborn, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. Those were the names of Aaron's sons, the anointed priests who were ordained for priesthood. But Nadav and Abihu died before the Eternal when they offered alien fire before the Eternal in the wilderness of Sinai, and they left no sons. So it was Eleazar and Ithamar who served as priests in the lifetime of their father Aaron.
And now I will call on Brian Schwartz, Bella's bonus uncle, to do the blessing after. Ya'amod shalom ben Moshe v'Rivka la'aliyah la'Torah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah temet v'chayei olam nata b'toheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. For the second aliyah now, I call on Joe and Karen Megabo, friends of Bella and her family. Ya'amdu ha'olim la'aliyah la'Torah.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaBarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaBarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vaydaber Adonai el Moshe lemor. Hakref et matei Levi ve'ahamata oto lifnei Aharon hakohen v'sheretu oto. V'natata v'shameru et kehunataho v'tmishmert kol ha'eda lifnei ohel moed la'avod et avodat hamishkan.
And once again, a translation. The Eternal spoke to Moses, saying, "Advance the tribe of Levi and place them in attendance upon Aaron the priest to serve him. They shall perform duties for him and for the whole community before the tent of meeting, doing the work of the tabernacle."
And now to pronounce the words of blessing after the aliyah, I call on Mark, Ann, Zach, and Alexia Silverberg. Ya'amdu ha'olim la'aliyah la'Torah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam natan b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yasher koach. And now, for the third aliyah, we call to the bima Bella's grandmother, Edie Sandberg, Bella's parents, Judy and Eric, and sister, Gabby. יעמדו חיה גליקל ויהודית ומשה וגבריאלה לעלייה לתורה. Grandma, you get special privileges. You get to be right next to Bella.
It's been a long time.
Adonai Hambarach. Baruch Adonai Hambarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
Amen. Vishameru et kol kele ohel moed vet mishmeret mi bnei Yisrael la'avod et avodat hamishkan v'natata et alvim la'aharon uvanav netunim hema lo me'et bnei Yisrael V'et Aharon v'et banav tivkod v'shameru et kehunatam v'hazar hakarev yumat.
Wonderful. And our translation once more. They, meaning the Levites, shall take charge of all the furnishings of the tent of meeting, a duty on behalf of the Israelites doing the work of the tabernacle. You shall assign the Levites to Aaron and to his sons. They are formally assigned to him from among the Israelites. You shall make Aaron and his sons responsible for observing their priestly duties, and any outsider who encroaches shall be put to death.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'hayeh olam atah b'tohenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. And now for the fourth aliyah, we call Bella for the very first time as a bat mitzvah to pronounce words of blessing before the Torah. Tamod, Tahamod, Tahamod, Ha-Bachura bat ha-mitzvah, Chana bat Moshe ve'Yehudit l'aliyah la-Torah, Chazak.
Baruch et Adonai Hamavorah.
Baruch Adonai Havarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar bani mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
V'daber Adonai el Moshe lemor va'ani hine lakachti et alvim mitoch bnei Yisrael tahat ho behor petarehem mi bnei Yisrael v'hayu li halvim ki li ho behor beyom hakuti ho behor be'eretz mitzrayim hikdashti li ho behor be'Yisrael me'ada ad bahima li yu ani Adonai.
The Eternal spoke to Moses, saying, I hereby take the Levites from among the Israelites in place of all the firstborn, the first issue of the womb among the Israelites. The Levites shall be mine. For every firstborn is mine. At the time that I smote every firstborn in the land of Egypt, I consecrated every firstborn in Israel, man and beast, to myself, to be mine, the Eternal's.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'hayeh olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Bella, that was just beautiful. Yasher Koach and Mazel Tov.
Mazel tov.
You know, King David had a nomenclature put upon him, which was that he was a sweet singer of Israel. But I think that could be put on you as well. You indeed are a sweet singer of Israel. Thank you for sharing your beautiful voice and your beautiful chanting with us this morning.
Amen, amen. And with the Torah out before us, we lift up now a prayer of healing, a mishaberach for healing for all those among our community gathered here and those whom we are thinking about, circles and circles and circles extending outward into our world. Let us especially bring close and pray for healing for Gay Lendon, Gil Shackelford, Tina Childs, and Sylvia Freeby. We bring close in our hearts all those whom we are thinking of as we share these words now.
Mishaberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. And now I'm going to invite Eric and Ava back to the bima to help dress the Torah. I invite everyone to please rise as we dress the Torah and return the Torah to the ark. Etz Chaim hi lama chazikim ba v'tomacheha meushar deracheha Darchenom v'chol netivoteha shalom hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva chadesh yameinu kekedem hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva chadesh yameinu kekedem. Please be seated. And now Bella is going to share with us her words of teaching of Torah on this Shabbat morning.
My Torah portion, Bamidbar, is the book of Numbers, and it talks about the specific roles of a community members. At first, it was very specific about what different people's roles are in the community and how many people there are in each group. This idea of Moses counting the people not only conveys that everyone counts, but it also means that no matter what, you are a person and you count as part of the community. In addition, I think that this portion also means that what you do affects someone. Everything you do, whether it's giving someone a compliment or just making someone feel better, can affect them for better or worse. To add on to this idea, we are also all interconnected. We live in the same place and we all have had an effect on someone's life. I wouldn't be here without all of the people that have influenced my life and have made me who I am. All of these people play a role, whether it's making me happy when I feel down or just being supportive of whatever I do. I was lucky enough to grow up with such nice and genuine people. I wouldn't change a thing about my life. Everyone here has played a role in my life and has made me here standing before you today. Like my mom, for instance. She has always been by my side and supports me in everything I do. For example, I was having a bad day, and when I came home, I was greeted by my mom hugging me, and it just made me appreciate the small things and how much I can affect someone. It made me feel counted, like I had people by my side every day. I think about this in my own life when it comes to middle school. An example of me making someone feel counted was when my friends and I would stand in a circle talking. However, this circle has much more meaning than you think. The circle represents the people that everyone you want to be friends with. They are always in the circle, but when you want to get to know these girls better, it's hard because you have to find a way to fit in the circle and make yourself seen, or else you will never be noticed, and you will just be waiting there for someone to talk to you. This whole concept is important because when you make it into the circle, you're addressed, and people know who you are. You finally count as part of the friend group, and people think of you as their equal. I know what it feels like to be left out, so when this would happen to others, I would move out of the circle and have someone take my spot because I knew how much more it meant to them than it meant to me to be in that circle. Being counted matters. There are many ways we can make people feel counted. One of these ways is just talking to someone to spark interest in them and show that you are listening and that you care about what they have to say. Lots of people make the mistake of not making eye contact with someone as you are speaking to them. Instead, you're staring at your phone. You may not know it, but maintaining eye contact with someone is a huge way to show your appreciation for them and show you care. Bamidbar is all about counting people, but the message is about making people feel like they count. Now, what are you going to do to make someone feel counted today? Take the extra time, make the effort, smile, let them know that they count. Shabbat Shalom!
Thank you, Bella. In addition to everything that Bella has done today, all of the preparation and the learning the Hebrew and the chanting and the praying and the studying Torah, she also understands that becoming a bat mitzvah is even bigger than just what's happening this morning. Becoming a bat mitzvah is becoming that knowledgeable but also responsible member in our community. So she has taken on a mitzvah project, the opportunity for her to engage in what we call tikkun olam, repairing this broken world we live in. And so in lieu of a traditional haftarah, she's going to take that prophetic message that the haftarah holds, that message of doing better in the world, and share how she, even at her young age, is making a difference.
During this whole...
Blessing.
What? Oh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher barhar bin ve'im tovim ve'ratza v'din Avraham hanemarim be'emet Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'Torah u'Moshe avdo u'Yisrael amo unvin ha'emet v'tzedek. During this whole virus outbreak, I am so grateful we have people such as nurses and doctors helping treat people with the virus. For my mitzvah project, I decided to write letters to these people and make their day just a little bit better. A lot of people underestimate the power of words, but they make the difference. The goal of writing these letters is to make these people feel like they are seen and remind them of the difference they're making in the world. Without these doctors and nurses, the effects of the virus would be much worse. I encourage everyone here today to write letters to your local hospital to make their day. It will make a difference to let them know that you care about them and that they count. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, sur kol ha'olamim, Sadiq behol ha'adorah, ha'el ha'ne'eman, ha'omer ve'oseh, ha'mevedaber u'vekayem, shekol divorav emet v'tzedek, al ha'torah ve'al ha'avodah, ve'el ha'ne'evi'im, ve'el yom ha'shabbat hazeh, shenatata lanu, Adonai Eloheinu, likdisha v'linemucha, le'avod, uftif'aret, ahakol, Adonai Eloheinu, anachnu modim la, uvin rahim otah, shim haba befit kol hai, tamid le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh haShabbat.
Amen. Wow. Bella, Mazal Tov. In fact, I'm going to invite you just to turn my way for just a moment so I can share some words for you. But words not only for me, I speak on behalf of, I know Kendra Korn, and I know of all of our clergy and all of your teachers, and I know your family and your friends and everyone who's zooming in from afar. I'm speaking these words to you that we are proud of you. We are so proud of you. I know you worked so hard for this day. I know that this is not necessarily how you pictured this day, and this isn't even the date that we originally planned for. But Bella, you absolutely made the most of this. You hit it out of the park, and you did an amazing job, so you should be incredibly proud of yourself too. I've enjoyed studying with you. We studied on screens, mostly by phone, a lot of phone calls in order to help make today happen. And every time we got together, you came with optimism, you came with enthusiasm and excitement. You handled and navigated these challenges with grace and understanding. And it's hard. This was difficult, right? This entire period of time that we are in is difficult. But you have done such an amazing job, and Mazal Tov. And the message that you were able to pull from Torah, it's beautiful. And it's perfect for you because, yes, we all deserve to be counted. We all deserve to be seen and heard and known. And when I look at you and having gotten to know you through this process, this message, you embody it because you see people for who they are. You hear people, you know people, you bring them in. You know when to take a step back to make room for other folks. You indeed are exactly the type of human being and Jew and bat mitzvah that we need in the world today. Your portion, Bamidbar, you know means literally in the wilderness. And boy, does it feel like we're in the wilderness now, right? You know, we're all wandering around a little confused. It's a time of uncertainty and chaos. But your message helps us be grounded. It helps us be centered. It helps me be centered, hearing your message and studying with you all along the way. And you really were able to act out your words, not just talk the talk, but walk the walk. And you showed us through your mitzvah project. And I'm hoping that everyone here is able to follow up, do something similar to what Bella did. Reach out to those folks, appreciate them, see them, and be able to say thank you. Now, the book Bamidbar in English, it actually has another meaning as well. Quite literally means in the wilderness. But it's known in English as the Book of Numbers. Why? Well, because we have so many numbers to share in this book. And the question's been asked for generations. Why so much emphasis on counting? But I think you were channeling this ancient Jewish sage named Rashi, 11th century Rashi, because his take on why all the counting was because we are so precious to God. Right? We are so precious, just like a parent checks on each and every one of their children at night And like the way that you take care of your friends and those who are in those circles that you see, and the way that we counted the folks who gathered here in this space because we care about you. Counting is a sign, an expression of care and love. Thank you for reminding us just how precious we all are. As you reach the age of bat mitzvah, Bella, we begin to count you differently as well. We expect more of you, right? And you are already bringing so much, so much to the table, so much to this world, through your mitzvah project, through all that you did, through all the Hebrew that you've learned, everything that you've brought to this day. And I cannot wait to see what happens next. Bella, you have truly made yourself count today. We are so fortunate to be the recipient of so many blessings that you bring to this world. In the ways that you have been a blessing, we want to reflect some of that back. And so now we are going to share the threefold benediction, the threefold blessing that has been handed down by our tradition, known as Birkat HaKohanim. I want to invite your parents to join you, Judy and Eric, if you can come and be close to your daughter now, as we share these words with you.
Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha.
Bella, may the light of God's presence always shine upon you and show you kindness.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'asem lecha shalom.
May God's presence always be with you. And may you find shalom, you and your family and all who love you. May you find shalom, peace, and wholeness all of the days of your life. And let us all say,
Amen. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
You can go back to your seat.
Mazel tov.
We once again rise in body and spirit as we turn back to our prayer books, to the words of Aleinu.
Aleinu leshabeach la'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
We remain standing as we bring close the memories of those whom we lost at this time in years past or more recently. We bring them close now, knowing that their lives have made an impact on our own. We make their lives blessing through the lives that we live. We especially bring close the memories of Alan Sandberg, Herbert Green, and Don Allen. May their memories always be for blessing. We join together in the words of Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yikadash shamei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach reutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dekol beit Yisrael, ba'gala v'zman kari v'yimru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam ulamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha barichu Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Ose shalom b'mromav, huya se shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Ose shalom bimromav, huyase shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru. Amen. Once again, we wish Mazal Tov to Bella, and I'm going to invite Bella and her parents and her sisters and her grandmother to come join us on the Bima, because what we want to do at this end of the service is shower you with such love and joy as we sing together Siman Tov u'Mazel Tov, wishing a hearty congratulations. Truly a moment of pride for your family, but also for our community. Siman Tov u'Mazel Tov u'Mazel Tov, Siman Tov u'Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov u'Mazel Tov u'Mazel Tov, Siman Tov. Yahelanu, 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 u'lechol Yisrael. Yahelanu, Yahelanu, u'lechol Yisrael. Yahelanu, Yahelanu, u'lechol Yisrael. Yahelanu, Yahelanu, u'lechol Yisrael. Thank you to everyone in attendance, and thank you to everyone watching on Zoom. We wish everybody a Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Mazel Tov.
Hey, you did it.